Alright, welcome back to Kamen Review, episode 231. Well, we're here discussing, the 22nd episode for Kamen Rider Zeztz. Yep. Sorry about that. So, yeah. Name of this episode is called Revenge. Well, in the case of this one, you think with the whole Code Red stuff, some people thought that was Easter egg for the fact Project Red started yesterday, but, that didn't exactly, you think, the world's getting affected. Not really. It looked fine. Everybody was briefly knocked out last episode, and everyone wakes up like, oh, it's fine. Okay. By the way, the Zeztz Nightmare is still around. He's not dead yet. And the dreamer of this episode is interesting. So it's not like the typical episode. This is more like very much heavy plot episode here. So then, of course, basically they have where Baku, his sister, and the two people from the public security bureau come by his house, hang out inside of the room, inside of his room, and then all of a sudden they visit by opening another door. Now, I think they usually open up like the brown door. If you look inside this room, the way it looks, they come with the brown door. They come through a white door. And now everybody's like, Kurta, I was like, I no longer go by that name. I'm now Code 6. And our boss is like, oh, you must be Code 5. Higher number. Yeah, they know nothing about the fact that Zero's gone. Well, his robot form was destroyed. And then apparently they actually have a mission. And the mission is simple. 6 and Baku will handle the Nightmare, and 5 will handle Okada, aka Nox. Baku's very hesitant because basically he's not looking forward to killing a human. So 5 and 6 go off their own. Meanwhile, though, in the subconscious, where Nox basically is like, okay, they found the location of Code's headquarters. And the lady's like, are you ready to give up your soul? He says, yes. And then she drops Zero's memory device into a pillar of water, presumably destroying the damn thing. After he retrieved just a few episodes, he retreated back, I think it was like episode 15, I think it was. It was not that long ago that he retrieved that, because that was when Zero's Roboform was destroyed. Well, the bike is seen in the episode, he doesn't write it. Yeah, that's the weird thing, he doesn't write it. Which is kind of interesting. So the vehicle he got the thing back in episode 16. This has only been 6 episodes. Yeah, he's been gone for 6 episodes. And he hasn't come back yet. So Lady, of course, stays behind, doesn't really do anything. So then the Zeztz Nightmare initiates a bunch of lightning storms in Tokyo. And then, of course, 5 and 6 proceed to go to the rooftop where the Zeztz Nightmare is. And there is Nox. And then 6 transforms into her Lord 6 form and takes on the Zeztz Nightmare. Well, 5 does not transform this episode, which is kind of weird. He did transform the last couple episodes. This episode, nope. He didn't transform. Which, I find that kind of weird. Like, why the heck would he not transform for? Yeah, he'll use it for like 2 episodes. You're like, what? Yeah, and then of course, basically, they battle each other, obviously. Oh, by the way, the actor who plays 5, he was actually the character of Sankaru from Dawn Brothers. Yeah, he was, a character I haven't got to yet because I didn't finish watching the show, sadly. So, They battle each other for quite a while, and then of course basically he's about to Nox would shoot 5, and 6 basically fires, and despite the fact the Zeztz Nightmare is still there, and then Nox proceeds to shoot 6. Then she demorphs, and then he shoots her with an actual gun, and then and she dies, and then 3 is informed that Kurha is dead, so he contacts Baku about this. And of course Baku's in a park. Now, by the way, Baku is in his own separate nightmare, where, yeah, apparently he's a Jim in this episode, which is kind of interesting. By the way, the kids, so once again he failed the mission, but technically it wasn't his fault. It was like he abandoned the mission. He failed because Nightmare got away. Not exactly his fault, per se. Yeah, so... Yeah, and the Zeztz Nightmare, he's probably from the Nightmare has appeared in most episodes. He's appeared in a grand total of like, so far 3 straight episodes, which is actually the most they've ever had a Nightmare appear, because most of what they've had previously like 2, but never 3. Yes. So, then of course, basically, well... Where's there you go. Where Nagamo basically is informed that her friend is dead. She's obviously grieving. So Baku proceeds to leave, race to where 5 and 6 are battling Nox, and he gets there. 6 is already he already know about that, and then of course Nox shoots 5, and he's about to transform. He's like, I'm Code 5. I'm Code's guard dog. And then Nox shoots him. And then, of course, Nox knocks off Baku off the rooftop. And we see also Nim finds out Baku's real name. The fact his name is Baku. Which, it's due to the fact she was cast in this dream. And then we debut another nightmare in this episode. Which, that's interesting. Yeah, this actually is the first time they actually had 2 nightmares active. This nightmare, first they seal it and then they seal it later. Apparently this nightmare is known as Catastrophe Gore Nightmare. Which I love the design of this thing. It looks fantastic. And then Baku takes the power from this thing. And then he wakes up. By the way, he's basically going back to his dream where he's falling off a building. And then he proceeds to survive by crushing the ground. And then he transforms into a brand new Raider form. He does transform briefly into the regular Zeztz form, the default one. Yes, he does. Excuse me. This is known as Castrum. The announcer is Pulverized Rider Zeztz. And this is a big, bulky one. Yeah, I like the slim one he's had. I'm looking at this thing. He looks like a freaking nightmare. Oh my, but he got a gorgeous design with him. And during the course of this fight, he destroys Nox's weapon that he's had since his debut. Yeah, he destroys the weapon and starts battling Nox, and that's when the episode ends. With the beginning of this fight, I was surprised the fact he destroyed the frickin' sword he's had. I'm like, damn. He probably feels mad about the fact that, well, basically that, well, 5 and 6 are dead. But great episode overall. Can't wait for the next episode, which will air this weekend, obviously. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up we have is My Hero Academia 90s. Okay? Thanks you. Bye.